Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Books Podcast with your host, Gloria and Rogan. And today we're excited to dive into a special book with you. We've picked this one because it has some really important lessons to share, and we can't wait to talk about them. So let's get started. All right, everybody, ready to really get into something today? We're diving into ego, and not just like the look at me kind of ego,
Right.
but the sneaky kind, the kind that can trip us up even when we think things are going great.
Absolutely. It's like that old saying, pride comes before the fall. But what if it's not even pride? What if it's something deeper, this hidden force that's kind of quietly shaping our choices?
That is exactly what we are unpacking today with Ryan Holiday's Ego is the Enemy.
Such a good one.
He argues that ego is a much bigger obstacle to success both before and after we achieve it than most people realize.
And the tricky part is it often disguises itself as ambition or confidence, so it's hard to even spot.
Yes, and to really show us what this looks like in action, Holiday dives into the story of Howard Hughes. Remember him? Aviation pioneer, movie mogul. The guy who basically invented the word daring.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hughes was a total titan pushing boundaries in aviation, captivating audiences with his films.
Right.
Even his purchase of TWA was a huge move in the business world.
Totally.
This was someone who seemed to embody the American dream.
Exactly, but that's what makes his downfall so fascinating and such a cautionary tale about unchecked ego.
Oh, tell me more.
So his ambition, it kind of spiraled into some epic meltdowns, you know?
Yeah.
Financial ruin, intense personal struggles. He became a recluse, basically squandered his fortune and his legacy.
It's true, and it's almost like that early success, instead of propelling him further, it became this breeding ground for his ego to really take root.
Interesting.
He became so fixated on his own image that he completely lost sight of reality. Millions wasted on these eccentric projects, pushing away anyone who dared to disagree with him.
So it's like success didn't fuel his growth, it fueled his ego, which ultimately led to his downfall.
Exactly, and that's the thing. This isn't just some cautionary tale about a rich guy's mistakes.
Right.
It's a warning for all of us.
Absolutely.
Hughes' story reminds us that early success can be intoxicating, and if we're not careful, it can inflate our egos, making us blind to risks and ultimately leading us down a similar path.
It's so true. Have you ever experienced even a small taste of success that maybe subtly changed your outlook or your decisions?
It really makes you think.
It's something to ponder as we kind of delve into these strategies for keeping our egos in check. So we've seen how unchecked ego can really sabotage even the most brilliant minds.
It's true.
But how do we actually fight back against something so deeply ingrained?
Right. That's the million-dollar question.
It is.
But the good news is, Holiday offers some really effective strategies for keeping ego in check.
Okay, good, because I need those.
Right.
Yes.
We all do.
And the first one that really resonated with me is this idea of always stay a student.
Oh, I love that one.
Isn't that a powerful concept?
It is. It's huge because no matter what level of success we achieve, if we can maintain that mindset of always learning, always growing,
Yes.
it keeps us grounded.
Totally. It shifts our perspective from I know everything to I'm always learning, which is just such a healthier place to be.
Infinitely.
And Holiday illustrates this with some really cool examples.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Get this Kirk Hammett, lead guitarist from Metallica.
crap.
I know, right? Sought out a guitar teacher after becoming a rock legend.
What? You're kidding?
Nope.
That's amazing.
It's incredible. It speaks volumes about his humility and his desire to just keep growing as a musician.
And the choice of teacher, too, is really interesting.
Oh, tell me.
Joe Satriani,
Wow.
another guitar virtuoso.
But even masters have masters.
Right. And the best part is Satriani has said that Hammett actually pushed him to become a better teacher.
Oh, wow.
So it was this amazing feedback loop of mutual growth and learning.
That's incredible. I love that.
Yeah, it just shows you there's always something new to discover, someone who can offer you a fresh perspective.
Always someone to learn from.
Always. And you know what's funny? Even Genghis Khan,
Okay.
who you don't exactly think of as like a humble guy.
Right. Genghis Khan, not the first name that comes to mind.
But even he understood the importance of continuous learning.
Really?
He was constantly adopting new technologies and strategies from the cultures that he encountered.
So in the midst of conquering, he's absorbing.
He's learning, he's incorporating siege warfare techniques from his enemies. He was integrating skilled artisans and scholars into his ranks.
Wow. Talk about adaptability.
Right. It totally flips the script on the whole, like, might makes right narrative.
Totally.
Khan's success wasn't just about brute force. It was about this intellectual humility and a willingness to learn from anyone, even those he had defeated.
That's amazing. Okay, so always stay a student. Huge takeaway.
Big one.
But what about, when you're just starting out and you're maybe don't have it all figured out yet?
Right, you're still proving yourself.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. That's where Holiday's Canvas strategy comes in,
Oh.
which I think is so interesting, especially for those early in their careers.
It's huge for that early stage.
So tell me more about this.
Okay, so the Canvas strategy, it's all about making other people look good and helping them achieve their goals,
Interesting.
especially early on in your career.
So it's about putting others first.
In a way, it seems counterintuitive, right?
It does a little bit.
Because we're so programmed to think about like my success and my goals.
Right.
But Holiday's point is that by focusing on contributing to other people's success, you're actually setting yourself up for greater success down the line.
So it's like playing the long game.
Exactly. It's about building those relationships, building a reputation for being generous, being a collaborator.
It's building that foundation.
Exactly. And he gives some compelling examples of this.
Oh, like who?
We'll take Ben Franklin, for example.
Okay.
He honed his writing skills by anonymously contributing to his brother's newspaper.
Wow. Imagine the discipline that took.
I know, no public recognition,
Yeah.
no immediate gratification.
Right.
He was playing the long game, mastering his craft, and building a reputation for being this skilled and reliable writer.
That's incredible.
And then there's Bill Belichick,
Oh, okay.
the mastermind behind the New England Patriots dynasty.
Right.
He started his career by really mastering the behind-the-scenes work of film analysis, supporting those more senior coaches without ever trying to steal the spotlight.
Talk about a master of the Canvas strategy.
Right, but focusing on delivering tangible value, even in those early, less glamorous roles.
Yeah.
He built this reputation for being indispensable, which obviously paved the way for his future leadership positions.
It's like this secret weapon for success.
It really is.
But what about those times when, despite our best efforts, we face setbacks? Maybe even outright failure.
Yeah, that's where ego can really rear its ugly head and turn those temporary stumbles into lasting defeats.
Oh, absolutely.
So we need another strategy for that.
So we've talked about how to manage ego, like on our way up, right? But what about when we hit those inevitable roadblocks?
Right.
When things just don't go according to plan?
That's where ego can really hold us back.
Totally, because let's be real, nobody gets through life without some bumps in the road.
No, absolutely not. But as Holiday says, failure itself isn't really the enemy. It's more about how we react to it.
Okay, I like that.
That determines whether it's going to break us or make us stronger.
It's all about the bounce back.
Exactly. And to illustrate this whole idea, Holiday actually tells this amazing story of resilience, Katharine Graham and the Washington Post.
Oh, yeah.
Such a powerful example of navigating adversity with grace and determination.
Yeah.
Imagine stepping into the role of CEO after your husband's tragic death.
Right.
Then you're hit with a hostile takeover attempt and then a crippling printer's strike. And all of this is happening while you're navigating the male-dominated world of publishing in the 1960s.
Talk about a baptism by fire.
Right. I mean, it would have been completely understandable for anyone to just crumble under that kind of pressure.
Absolutely.
But Graham persevered. She saw these seemingly impossible challenges as opportunities.
Interesting.
For growth and learning, she refused to let those setbacks define her leadership or the legacy of the Post.
And what a legacy she built. I mean, the Pentagon Papers, Watergate. I mean, her leadership completely transformed American journalism.
Completely.
And she even formed a close mentorship with Warren Buffett.
Can you imagine?
No, it's like she turned adversity into this incredible advantage.
She absolutely did. And I think it's a testament to her ability to separate her ego from those setbacks and just choose to learn and grow from those experiences instead of allowing them to, dictate her story.
It makes you think about that quote, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Right.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into ego is the enemy, it really makes you wonder, where in your own life is ego maybe holding you back? What would it look like for you to really apply these strategies? Staying a student, embracing the canvas, finding that fulfillment in the effort, detaching from the outcomes.
Right. Detaching from the outcomes, it's huge.
It's huge because it's not about denying ambition or striving for some kind of unrealistic perfection or anything. It's more about harnessing our energy and our talents effectively so we can bounce back from all those inevitable setbacks and ultimately live more fulfilling and meaningful lives.
Sometimes it really is about getting out of our own way.
So true. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. I hope you learned as much as we did. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this conversation and want to dive into more book insights, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. We're back every Sunday at 9 a.m. with new books and more to learn from. Until next time, take care and keep learning, keep growing.